Hey there gang, Blair Norwood, chiropractor for Chiropractic House here. How's the homeschooling going for you guys? To be fair, in our house it's actually gone really well. I'm really impressed with how our kids have embraced it, and I'm really impressed with the content and the stuff and the way that it's being taught by the two boys' schools. I have to say I suck as a teacher, so I am so grateful for all you teachers out there and what you do for our children. Now it looks like this homeschooling gig is likely to continue for some time and be the new norm for the next wee while. So I thought I'd have a quick talk about the challenges that we see through chiropractic eyes that we've been noticing with our boys, and some potential hacks that you can use to help your kids' learning environment. So the first one is posture. Okay, and posture was a crazy one because, you know, we set up the kids, we had them all going at their workstations. 15 minutes later on the first day, you should have seen their posture. I mean, it was hard to believe that they came from and live with two chiropractors. They were in a slouched position, head was forward, squinting at the screen, hands up round their mouths. They were leaning forward. At some stages, they had their feet underneath their butts while they were sitting at their chairs, and that was just while they're at the desk. It got a whole lot worse when they then tried to transfer that to the bed in their rooms. So this is something that we as parents can actually help our kids with. You know, we're not going to control their environment, and they're not going to do it for long periods, but we can keep on reminding them and helping them how that they can do that. Because the research out there says that while you've got poor posture, your learning outcomes decrease. Okay, and we can help them with that. And great hack with that is to get them to regularly stretch in the opposite way that they find themselves in. So if you can get them to stand up, and if you can get them to pull their shoulders together at the back, so their shoulder blades together, arch their back slightly and reverse the curve in their middle back, as well as pull their chin in or tilt their head back, it's going to stretch them in the opposite way than what they've been sitting for a long period of time. So the next thing that we noticed was time. Now the first 2 or 3 days, if we had let our kids, they would have gone for 3, maybe 4 hours without having a break. They had no time filter, and there is no way that we as adults can handle that sort of concentration and that sort of focused learning. We can't expect our kids to do that, and a normal school day is very much broken up. We have to break it up after each lesson, and a great hack with that would be is to get them in between each class, or every 15 minutes, get them out of the house, run around the house, run down the driveway, get them to do 30 seconds of burpees or press-ups or sit-ups or something high intensity to just break it up for them. Which leads me to my next point, was inactivity. I mean, one of our boys has lost 16 to 18 hours plus a week of organised activity, whether that be sports, whether that be sports trainings, whether that be games of cricket. All of that energy has to go somewhere, and you're probably noticing your kids with brain fog. They're getting really antsy while they're sitting at their workstation, and they're getting really irritated, and that's because of the inactivity. Now, we're not going to be able to give them 18 hours of organised activity, but we can get them to do something. So if we can get them to do regular activity a number of times a day, it's going to help their learning outcomes, and I know that they're going to then be a lot more settled while they're there trying to do their lessons. The next one was sleep. Sleep was really interesting because our boys, I've noticed that they're now going to sleep a lot later and trying to wake up a lot later. And that's changed their whole routine now that they've now gone back to school. I mean, our teenager wants to go and sleep until he has to roll out of bed and go straight in front of his laptop. Now, that's not going to work for his learning. There's no way that that's going to work. He's not going to have had the breakfast or the brain food that he needs. It's not going to mean that he's got the activity that he had to get to school and move to school and get to his classroom, so his brain would be switched on. So I think getting back to our normal routines of sleep is really important. And the last one for this little stint is food. Now, our kids at home, homeschooling, have carte blanche access to the pantry and the fridge. And it's fair to say my boys aren't necessarily making the best food choices when they're getting to make their own choices. So this is something we as parents can help them with. Now, the research out there definitely shows high sugar intake decreases learning outcomes. It can't be clearer than that. So if we can help them with that, normally we'd send them off to school with a lunchbox, but we can control what goes in it. Now, if we can help them the same way, that's going to help their learning outcomes and their productivity, and they'll get through things a lot quicker and back to the fun stuff. So that's what we're noticing. That's a few hacks that you can use to help yourself. We want to give more information. I think we're going to follow up very quickly with how to set up your workstation for your child. What I want to outline is we're trying not to put any more pressure on you as parents. We're not teachers. We just want to help create a great environment where they can get the most out of their learning, and as well as being as healthy as they can be. So if you've got any questions, please ask, post, or if you could message us. If you've got any ideas of how to help with stuff, it'd be great to hear what other people are doing. And if there are other areas that you want help with or advice with, let us know and we can give that information or our opinion on what that'd be. So until next time, stay safe, enjoy your bubble, and we'll see you again next time.